Good morning, everyone. This week in Collective Worship, we're listening to Johann Sebastian Bach and his composition called Air. But who was Johann Sebastian Bach?
Meet Johann Sebastian Bach. Johann was born in Eisenach, Germany in 1685. Germany is the home of cuckoo clocks, pretzels, and the Neuschwanstein Castle, which inspired Walt Disney to create the Sleeping Beauty Castle for Disneyland. As a child, Johann's father taught him to play the violin and harpsichord. His brother, Johann Christoph Bach, taught him to play the organ. In 1707, Bach married his second cousin, Maria Barbara Bach, and they had 7 children. In 1708, Bach accepted a post as the court composer, organist, and principal violinist for the Duke of Weimar. The Duke probably liked organ music because it was during this time that Bach wrote most of his organ music, including his toccata and fugue in D minor, which is one of the best pieces ever written for the organ.
Our theme this week in Collective Worship is all about online safety. Now, it's actually next week that there is a national day all about online safety, but we're learning and looking at it 1 week in advance. Here's a short video that recaps online safety. Hello everyone, I'm here to talk to you about internet safety. First of all, let's meet Bob. Hello. Now it's time to talk about 5 rules of staying safe online. Right, number 1, don't share any of your personal information. This includes date of birth, where you live, and what school you go to. Rule number 2, don't share other people's personal information and only post pictures of them with their permission. Remember, you should always be careful about posting pictures about yourself, to only post pictures that you'd be happy showing to your mum, dad, grandmother, cat. Okay, maybe not the last one. Rule number 3. Make sure you know if you're talking to someone who has a profile picture of Batman, then the chances are it's not actually Batman. Only have people on your friends list that you know in real life. Rule number 4. If someone online asks you to do something you know is wrong, like coming to meet them, then don't do it. One of the most important things is not to give in to them. Rule number 5. If you find yourself in a situation where you've been subjected to a piece of information, then don't hesitate to tell someone. This can be a family member, a teacher, and certainly not the cat. Anyone else that you feel comfortable talking to. Alternatively, you can report it to the CEOP, the Child Exploitation Online Protection Centre. It's anonymous too. So remember kids, stay safe online. Not everything you see is real. One of my hobbies is digital artwork. And one of the ways that I make my digital artwork is using something called Photoshop. I'm going to demonstrate to you now one of the images using Photoshop. Cool picture, right? Well, it's actually made up of 5 different pictures. And here's how it's been made. You can see we've got the background image, and then we're in the mountains. We're taking out some of the sky so that stars in the other image can be included. And we want some rough terrain, so that's being added. But we don't want the sheep, so we're going to airbrush the picture of the sheep out. There we go. And then we're going to put the picture of the Jeep in the image 2. We need to delete the background, and then we're going to add the backpacker but he's stood on a rock. That needs deleting too. And then the 5th picture is of the moon. Again, we just need to rescale it, take out the background, and there we go. Bit of colour correction. We have one final picture made up of 5 separate pictures. You can even Photoshop your gender. Here's a picture of me, male. And using Photoshop, here's me as a female. It can be really hard to tell what is real and what is not real or fake. We've all seen some pretty unbelievable images on the internet. Sometimes they are obvious fakes, but often it's pretty hard to tell. Do you think you have an eye for discerning between real and fake? In this test, you'll be shown a set of images. You have to figure out whether each image is an actual, untouched photograph or a fake image that is resulted from photo manipulation. After each image has been displayed for about 10 seconds, the answer will be revealed. Remember to count up how many questions you answer correctly, and don't forget to leave your score in the comments below afterwards. Let's begin. Real. Photoshopped. Real. Photoshopped. Photoshopped. For Christians, they believe that God is with them when they're faced with difficult decisions, just like in this quote from the Bible. But the Lord is faithful, and he will strengthen you and protect you from the evil one. Movies use something called green screen and blue screen. Now, sometimes it's too expensive to film on location, or they can't film on location. Sometimes films create imaginary worlds that can only be produced in computers, and they use a green screen or a blue screen to put the computer image on top of it. Here's some examples. that's okay, because that's for our entertainment. But editing photos to mislead people or to fool people into thinking something is what it isn't is not okay. It's not okay to mislead people.
Phony photos. When Joanna Olsson of Sweden began traveling the world and posting about her experiences on Instagram, she suddenly gained thousands of followers. The influencer lifestyle soon followed. With Joanna continuing to jet set, she received numerous lucrative deals to promote branded products. But after the influencer took a trip to Paris and put up a post sponsored by clothing outlet Pretty Little Thing, her followers began to ask questions. It appeared that some of the photos Joanna had posted from Paris didn't look exactly genuine. In fact, they looked photoshopped. Questions started to fly. Was Joanna lying about her trip to Paris? Has she ever even left Sweden? Was her lifestyle nothing more than a sham to get sponsorships from branded products? As with all internet controversies, one question loomed over them all. How would Joanna respond? She later explained that while she had been to Paris, she disliked her snaps so much she photoshopped in a new background. She admitted that her photo editing skills left something to be desired, but insisted her global travel was not faked. Maybe I'm being cynical, but it's also possible that Joanna hated her outfit so much she couldn't be caught dead out in Paris with it on. Not exactly a great look for her, let alone for the sponsor.
Hey, time for a prayer. And if you'd like this prayer to be your prayer, it's Amen at the end. You're welcome to look at the candle flame, or you can put your hands and your eyes together. If this prayer is not for you, then take this time to reflect on what you've heard today. Dear Lord, help us to remember that before we put or do or say anything online, help us to think. Is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Amen. All right, that concludes our collective worship for today. Remember, work hard, be kind, look after yourselves. I'll see you around school.